Okay, I'm back right away. I want to do a shorter version on the video, the reptilian reptilian misunderstandings. If you want to see the whole thing, look at the previous video. Goofing around, playing, telling personal stories. But I want to make a shorter one just to help us. Anyway, we can't all watch for 45 minutes, okay? So on the spiritual path, there's lately a lot of judgment on reptilians. And while it is true that what David Icke is a hero, and in the other video I talk about meeting his wife, girlfriend, and going to see him and so forth. But anyway, the main thing that got him rejected or laughed at was him talking about the reptilians, right? Of course. Also, in my opinion, kept him safe, because the more laughable you are, the more easily dismissible you are. But so what happens when you're waking people up, you tell truths as sort of a soul shock therapy, right? And you're usually dismissed, laughed at, and all that kind of stuff. So one of the inevitable side effects is we overreact on the spiritual path. All reptilians are bad. And the short version of this is, when people ask me, are ETs good or bad? I say, well, are humans good or bad? Some are good, some are bad. Okay. Well, are reptilians good or bad? Some are good, some are bad. And the learning to discern, another one of our t-shirts, you want to emerge and see, hopefully without so much emergency ambulance is coming to pick you up, to learn to discern. Shiva has the cobras around his neck. Why? Because he has mastered the basal, the first part of your spine, as the first little knob that develops on the top up here is your reptilian brain. It's in charge of flight or fight, your heart rate, your breathing, your parasympathetic, autonomous nervous system. It runs your internal organs, the vagus nerve, all kinds of things. Without it, you can't live. The first form developed in the universe is the reptilian form, the physical form. It is the most ancient, the most basic. From there, we evolve into other forms. So the reptilians that are coming to visit the planet feel that in a way that they own Earth, because they were here long before humans were here. And this is really far out stuff if you haven't dealt with this before. Anyway, Shiva is friends with the cobras because he's mastered his kundalini. Asclepius, the Greek god who started medicine, has the spine in the form of a staff and the one serpent around it. Later, Hippocrates came along and created the caduceus with the two snakes going up there, and they're equally accurate. But so they can be, reptilians can be infested with AI and, quote, bad, into control, domination, hierarchy. Archons can take the form of the reptilians working for them or not. Okay, they're in 4D and above. So your job, if you're on the spiritual path, in my opinion, is to learn to discern, is this a good reptilian energy or a bad reptilian energy? Your survival instinct, your heartbeat, your breathing, your reptilian brain are obviously super good for you. They're about life, reproduction, survival. Very, very important to integrate. So this is my main point. When we get into research, fear, paranoia, fear porn, and we're just keyboard warriors and just stuck in our heads, then we will go, all reptilians are all bad. They're here to take over the earth and eat us, and they're part of this. Yeah, no, some of them are, but some of them aren't. I've met my personal friend reptilians that are brothers, and they're beautiful and helpful. Dragons are made friends by the innocent child. Your knowledge of good and evil, your divided self, you'll be very scared of a real dragon or reptilian, a good one, because you can't understand or see beyond the form. The form is secondary. Energy is first. Learn to discern the energy with your heart and your belly. Learn to feel what's really there. So on this path, the spiritual path, you're going to have to learn to discern Kundalini energy. Very comforting, very strong, very survival-oriented, very sexual life force. And if you reject the lower parts of your whole body, you do so at your own peril. You can't reject your reptilian brain. You'd be dead. The closest place you can kill people is right in the brainstem. You put a bullet there, they're dead. They're gone. Put the bullet through here, you can survive. head will, you can survive. But the basal reptilian foundational brain, which is manifested as physical reptilians in our galaxy. Now, some of them have evolved into the limbic and the neocortex brain as well. This is far out stuff, I understand. Anyway, so on your path, you're going to have to make friends with your reptilian past and your reptilian parts of yourself, whether in your brain. When we subconsciously suppress all that and we disconnect from our brains, we only live up here. We're living in a spiritual ivory towers. We're not connected. That causes all kinds of problems, and you're very susceptible to being played. Boogeyman! And played into divided and conquered wars. So integrating your own reptilian brain and making friends with the good reptilians is a part of any avatar, master, Krishna, Christ, Jesus, Shiva, etc., etc. Ayahuasca appears often as a snake. Jesus appeared as a feathered serpent to the South American tribes. Quetzalcoatl, he was the feathered serpent. He's reptilian. Was he bad? No. But he couldn't appear that way to the Jewish tradition. They would have gone, we don't understand you. That's scaring us. Even though Moses raised the serpent up in the desert on the staff. That's the spinal column. Raising your serpent. That's the energy coming back up and illuminating you. Just like at Christmas time, we have a Christmas tree. It's the same thing all the way up to the star. All the ornaments are your auric lights coming on. So don't get fooled into being divided and conquered by fear porn. David Icke's a hero, and he does say there's good reptilians, of course, but he says it's not that much. So most people just attach, and we're trained to be either one or the other. You're either for us or against us. If you're not with us, you're with the terrorists. Humans have been trained to be divided and conquered. If you don't want to fall for that again, if you fall for all reptilians are bad and they're all here to get us, you'll fall for maybe the fake UFO crapola, fake UFO invasion. And you'll go, we have to fight the reptilians with laser beams. You're right back where you started. So instead of being divided and conquered, come together. Whole, become whole, integrated in yourself. All right. It's a short one. If you want the longer version, look at the last video. I wax a little more crazy with it. And attend the webcasts if you want on Sundays. TobiasLars.com. InnerBodyAwakening.com is the basic foundation to start feeling yourself as an energy body, as a spiritual being mixed with energies, mixed with physical body. You are one integrated full spectrum human. All right. Much love. That's it. Keeping it shorter for those that need that. All right. Ciao. TobiasLars.com for the webcast if you want to do it. Start with the inner body awakening. If you've already done that, move on to the alchemy process, which you're actually alchemizing energies, things that are subconscious, old denial, old, dead, dark, in the dark, occult crap that's living in your shadow self, in your subconscious. If you want to start alchemizing that into light or into conscious awareness, not necessarily light, I recommend the alchemyenergyprocess.com is the next thing. All right, much love.